Life and Lifestyle. Market recap for August 2nd, first trading day of the month. You know the drill. We're going to go through what died, what was triggered, and what hit targets. Got a little copyright free music so I don't get flagged for nothing once this channel gets bigger. And we're going to start with what died. Today we only had 2 deaths. XM. XM was triggered on Friday, $40 call, hit level 2 for 53%. Today it fell back to the entry point. So this could be considered a rebuy, or, like I call it, a death. It's done. You should have took your money. It's out of there. AJG. Same thing. Friday, 140 call was triggered. Almost hit level 2 within 5 cents, so close enough. And today it's back under. It popped level 1 again, so you had a second chance to take profit. And now it's technically dead. But it can come back. But it's just what it is right now. What was triggered? This is a long one. Triggered Monster Energy. One of my favorites. I love the zeros. The white monster tastes like Sprite. Tastes like Sprite without the burn or whatever. So Monster Energy, the 93.50 put was triggered right here at 93.73. KBR, the $40 call was triggered. Let me zoom back a little bit. $40 call was triggered right here at 39.17. Adobe. Adobe had a beautiful fall. Almost triggered the call right here at 625.67, but it was a false pop and it failed. Triggered the put right here, kept going. Triggered it at 617.04. That was a 615 put. KO, Coca-Cola. Almost hit the call here. Triggered the put. $56 put was triggered at 56.86. JP Morgan. You remember last week it was stagnant. It was the only bank stock that didn't hit so far. Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America all hit. I didn't look at Goldman because they didn't pop up yet, but that's the only other bank left besides JP Morgan. JP Morgan, 155 call was re-triggered, just in case you didn't take it last week, and it hit the first target. I'll go into targets and percentages in a bit. TLT. Look up TLT. Do your research on TLT. TLT tracks the bond market. The bond market is kind of a way to see how people view America as how much debt America has, or how good America will be at paying back debt. See, what people do with the bond market is all the big money, the billionaires and trillion-dollar companies, they will buy bonds, which is basically investing money into the country. And they buy the bonds with like a 10-year, 20-year out with a small percentage return, 3% to 5% every year for 20 years. So that's technically 100% return. And then after 20 years, they get their full money back. So it's kind of a long-term high-yield savings with a guaranteed return rate. That also tracks the inflation, I believe. So when the bond market is down, which means they have to keep raising interest rates, that means people aren't willing to invest in the country because you have to sweeten the deal. Where you may have been able to sell a bond for 1% interest, now you have to sell it for 3%. And once it goes up so many basis points, which is a percentage of a percentage, so like 0.01, 0.02, that's a basis point. Once it goes up a certain number of basis points, people start to panic. So TLT tracks the inverse of that. So when the bond yield is going down, TLT goes up, and vice versa. So keep an eye on TLT in the future. One of the guys in my playlist taught me about TLT, so you get the playlist, you'll learn from them as well. That being said, the 150 call was triggered at 149.67. P10, Patterson, UTIs. The $8 call was triggered at 8.45. This could also be considered a swing. Going forward, any ticker that's under $10, I'm going to consider a swing. as well, because there's more than one way to play the market, and swings are a lot safer because there's only a 10% stop loss versus 20%. But the upside isn't as big because you might only get 20% back instead of 100%. But still, it's nice to play the market several ways to further understand the strat and how to apply it. CSX triggered the 3250 call right here at 3246. PAA, Plains All American, they triggered the $10 put at 990 right there. AIG, remember them from the insurance fraud issue? $48 call was triggered at 190. I'm sorry, $48 call was triggered at 48.33. It cost 190. There we go. That's my fault. I said that wrong. Farfetch. Oh yeah, this thing's supposed to be here. Ignore Farfetch. I'll go to Farfetch in the target section. AEHR. Excuse me. AEHR $7.50 call was triggered right here at $6.10. CAG, the $34 put was triggered last week, but this right here is a weekly trigger. So by that I mean I checked the daily entry point and the weekly entry point. So going forward, most of my weekly entry points will never hit. And when they did hit, I considered them just another price target. But going forward with the strat, I will actually add when it hits the weekly, just to see if that's a second indicator for more gains to come. So right here, the 917, as you can see above, the 820 put is what I have been tracking. Now this is the 917 put, same price, same strike price, $34 put, $33.30 was the entry price. So we'll see how this plays out over the week and month. PLAB, the long, was triggered right here at 13.52. This would have been an option, but the volume was so minuscule, it has to become a swing. That's another thing to keep in mind, that even though I'm mostly tracking options with the strat, the same principles apply. You're still waiting for it to move. And even though you're playing options, it's still going to move to these price levels. So in that sense, you can play it as a swing, and you'll go from 13.52 to 72 to 93, so a nice 40-cent swing, which isn't much. And options, that could be a few 100%, but if there's no volume, you're gonna have to take what you get. And is that it? All right, that's everything that was triggered. Now, put this in there. Getting warm now. I'm gonna be trying out different music as I go, just to see which one I like the most. Okay, this is lo-fi jazz, copyright free, of course. So Micron, good old Micron. Right here, I could technically say that this is a trigger, the weekly trigger right here, but I didn't track it as a weekly, I tracked it as a week out. So as you see here, I was doing 8/6 expiration, which is this Friday. Then I added the 8/13 when it re-triggered the entry right here on Friday. So this is next Friday, 8/13. But right here, this gold bar, that should be an entry point for a month out. So I should have a 917 right there. But I don't. So I'm going to have to add one to see how that progresses through time. So where it is now, the 8/6 call, $77 call, and the 8/13, $77 call are both up. They hit 30% and 79% right here, and then hit 86% and 94% right there. So that was a beautiful, beautiful trade right there. Still plenty of time left. DocuSign, good old DocuSign hit a new low. It had already did 40% last week, but today it hit the big boy 100%. So from 615 to 1230. Beautiful trade. Very expensive, but it worked. Farfetch, this is where it was supposed to be. Farfetch hit two new highs. 37%, 51%. And it still has time. This is an 820. So I mean, there's still like 2 weeks on this thing. So we'll see if it hits the next level tomorrow, which will probably be 70%. JP Morgan finally broke out of being stagnant right there, hit for 15%. FITB, Fifth Third Bancorp. The 820 call was triggered last week? I think it was triggered today, actually. Let me see. No, it was triggered last week. Hit a new high here at 41%, which is almost double what it was last week at 23%. Under Armour hit a new high, 40%. It hit 30% last time, now it's at 40%. And I think this might be a weekly entry as well. I didn't check that. So as you can see, you'll miss some things if you don't keep a track of everything. So I'll make sure to fix that. SM hit for 12% right here, from 125 to 140. That's a new high for them. They were triggered last week. Didn't really do much, but finally hit price target 1. CP, Canadian Pacific, has been going nicely. Actually, it popped up, hit a new high right here, but I wasn't watching it, so I don't know how much that was. But as you can see in the aftermarket, it might still do that again. But it's at least up 42%, so I'm going to say that's probably 60% now. Monster Energy, to put, it went to 20%, and then actually it hit 20% right here initially, bounced up, fell all the way down, bam, 51%, beautiful. Adobe, the put was triggered immediately, hit, bam, 36%, beautiful. This trade is the most expensive trade I'm looking at. $920 or $1,250. So the beauty of an expensive trade is that your stop loss is further away because it's so expensive. You know, you have several $100s of space. So even if it bounces like it did, you still probably only be down maybe $50-$60. I don't think you will be down, you know, to $700-$600 just like that. But I got to track it more. KBR, the $40 call hit for 38% and also went higher to, let's say, at least 50%, but I didn't track that one at the moment, so I'm not sure. And you can kind of say this one died here, actually, because it's going down, but we'll see tomorrow for sure if it's dead. Fast hit a new high right here for 17%. Actually, no, this is the first target, actually. Fast didn't hit nothing last week. I think it was triggered last week. Yeah, triggered right here. So it didn't hit nothing. And then here it goes, finally hitting for 17%. CAG. Keep a track of everything. All right, almost done. CAG. $34 put. Wait a second. CAG already hit 23% and hit here for a new low. I'm gonna say, actually it's so close I can actually check it now. Let me see. Let's see what CAG is. So it is an $8.20, $34 put, $1. Still around the same price. But that volatility hasn't been marked in yet. So I'm not sure what that is right now. Let's say 30%. PAA, $10 put hit for 10% right there. Aftermarket hit level 2. So we'll see what that is in the morning. Space finally turned around. And I added extra week out on Space because Space is a known runner. So there's an 816 and an 813. The 816, since it expires this Friday and it was down for so long, is only up 2%. But the 813 is up 15%. So he's still positive. And PAGP, the $10 put right here, hit for 20%. And that is everything of what was triggered. So, as always, this is still practice mode. These are not real trades. This is paper trading. But you can consider these real because this is real time. I'm not using a paper trading account. I'm using my real account that I have active trades in, but I'm just tracking this strategy while I track my real trades. So these are legitimate numbers. It's just I haven't personally profited from them. Let's throw in a curveball for the day. CBLI. CBLI was a short. It wasn't a short, actually. It was a long from last week, I believe. Yeah, let me go a little further out. Let's do a 10-day, 4-hour. It was a long from last week with a swing entry at 485. It hit for 564. First level was 565, close enough. And it's technically died because it triggered the short side right here at 407, and it went all the way down to 364. So it's about an 80 cent on the long swing, and let's say 40 cent on the short swing. So that's $1.20 a share right there. So if you had 1,000 shares, you were up $1,200, just like that. So yeah, like I said, getting better every day, still practicing. Haven't taken a real trade just yet, but boy, am I itching to do so. What I'm doing is I'm going to make sure I test a minimum of 100 trades before I actually take them for real. So far, I'm at maybe 70 trades so far. So I'll technically could start taking trades this week, but I'll do it next week just to make it easier. So like I say every week, if you would like to learn from the people I learn from, get your stock market playlist, 30 resources for $30. Covers everything. The guys that I learned this strategy from are in this book. Well, not book, this program, this list of this wealth of knowledge here. And as always, I say you can get this yourself. You can literally find all these people for 100% free on the internet. Just watch a bunch of YouTube, hours upon hours upon hours, and you will find every single one of these people that I'm talking about. It's not rocket science. It's not a secret. But people are lazy. And if people are lazy, why not profit from them? I mean, you can diet yourself, but you could also pay someone to make a meal plan for you, and that'll be easier. You could pay someone to cook your food for you, that'll be easier. So that's what this is. You're like, hey, where do I go in the market? I'm like, give me a hand. Give me your hand. Walk you over here. There you go. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm walking you to the booth of the people that you need to learn from. And it's up to you to do with that information. So this is a quick one. It wasn't that long. I wish it was a little bit shorter so I could put it on IG. This will be on my YouTube. Of course, they only go on my YouTube at this point. Once it goes past 15 minutes, it's on YouTube. And since I've already started the YouTube, I might as well just put these up there just for shits and giggles. So, check my Twitter, check my IG, everything Like and Lifestyle. I need to start posting videos on my Twitter now, but I keep forgetting. But I'll fix that soon. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you trust the process. God bless.